Hey guys, Mrs. Talk Techie here, and I finally finished the Instagram templates that I was creating on Google Slides. This is something that I really did kind of get into, and before you knew it, I had created, instead of 4, I created 20. I created 20 Instagram template examples because one of my big things is the application of it. We go to a lot of PD sessions, but a lot of the times we get out of there and say, yeah, it was good, but I just don't know how to apply it to my content. So I'm not the type that's going to be like, look what this can do, look what this can do. It's, yeah, look what it can do. Now, how can you apply it to your content, right? To your instruction so that it directly impacts student learning. That's my big thing. So I may not know everything about ELA and math and science, but I did give it my best here. So with that said, underneath this YouTube tutorial, there is a description, guys. And if you go to the description, I have links to 5 slideshow presentations. Each slideshow presentation has your original Google Slides Instagram templates, but it also has examples for science, for social studies, for math, and for ELA's reading/English as well. And there's also a general one. So if you want to pick up that general one, it includes one on each as well. So anyways, the reason why I did that is because before I knew it, I got caught up with the application part of it, like I just told you. So make sure that you grab your copies, guys. They're going to be there for you. They're free. Reach out to me if you need help, or if for whatever reason you lose it, you can't find it, you can always find it here on the description below. In addition, what I'll have for you is at the bottom as well in the description, I'll have a timeline of when I'm going to start talking, when I start talking about the science Instagram templates, the math ones, the English ones, if you want to just go directly to the content that you teach, okay? I do recommend listening to everything because I will embed little tips and tricks throughout the whole thing. If you're ready, I want you guys to stick around for a bit because I am going to explain, this initial part is going to explain how the Google Slides templates work and how they're part of the master slide. Alrighty guys, some logistics on these slides presentations. First of all, if you direct your attention to the top, to my tabs, you're going to see, and you're going to have access to these. These are free. You guys can grab a copy of each. One is titled just Instagram template, and this is a general one. It'll have examples like simple examples and science, math, English ones, but just simple, generic ones. But then if you keep going, there's a math one, a science, an English, and a social studies. And so those have specific tailored instructions for those contents. So just keep that in mind. In addition, the templates are embedded. They're part of the master slides presentation. So even if you were to delete a slide, it's okay. You can always find them in the master slides. So let me just show you where, guys. If you're going to add a new slide, you can go up here to the left, top left corner, and instead of clicking on the plus sign, go ahead and go to this down arrow, and now you have the different slides presentations, the templates. I created 4 of them, and they have the name here. So I'm going to go over what those 4 are in a bit. So just to let you know that you can always find them here. Even if you accidentally delete it, you can always get them here. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of things. One, you're going to see that the Instagram templates have information outside of the actual slide presentation. So for example, if I present this, this is how it would look. But we want our kiddos to use all of it. It's all fair game, right? And so all of this will be used throughout the different presentations that I'm going to be showing you in different ways. So that's why I do suggest that you pick up a copy of all of them, because these will be used in different ways. And like that, you guys can keep those examples in mind. And so just in addition, the presenter's notes down here can also be used. They're also fair game because when you assign these, the kids, in order to work on them, have to be in this view, the editing view. They can't be on present view because then they can't edit what they're working on. So just keep those things in mind. This outside, fair game. Presenter notes can be used to add additional information or provide additional background knowledge for the kids to be successful on that assignment. There are 4 templates that have been created. Each template is a different type of template that you see on the actual social media app of Instagram. So this one that you have here is a basic post, like an image or a video post. So it's just basic. Who's the person here? They'll add the name of the person posting that. So you want to make it fun, and the kids will know this. Make it fun, make it catchy, add a couple of emojis. And here they'll explain a little bit about what that image is about. Like, what's up with that image? Why are you taking it and why are you posting it? The next one is a profile image or a profile template. And it can be either the student, from a student perspective, from a famous person perspective. So the profile of, and you'll see in a bit, a president of the United States. So what might he call himself? What profile picture would they use? And how would they describe their IG profile, right? Who are they? What's important? And then these are some important images that they would be posting. So what would be some of those important images they felt are post-worthy? And the next one is if you look at somebody's profile. So whether it be somebody's or something's profile, like a organization or a company or a team, like if it's like the Dallas Cowboys or whatever, if it's somebody's profile page, this is what you would use. So it's just about being innovative, and you're going to see a bunch of different examples of how they were used, guys. And finally, this is the search one that you see on Instagram. So if you click on the little magnifying glass, you can actually type here what you want to look for, and all the different posts that have to do with that get populated there. These can be considered categories dealing with that post. So for example, if I put George Washington, this category might be president. This one might be American Revolution, founding father, commander-in-chief, so on and so forth. And what images might populate in reference to this search term or item, right? So those are your 4 templates: a post, a profile, someone or something's page, and a search. All right, guys? So finally, the last thing on every template is this slide right here. Most of your kids are going to be completing their assignments probably on their cell phones, right? On a type of mobile device. So some of them require you to bring over a photo or to even mask an image. And mask means to take that image and make it into the shape of, in this case, a circle, right? Because in order to make it into a profile image, it looks like a little circle. So we're going to be asking our kids to do that. And a lot of our kiddos don't know how to do it. So within each Instagram template, I have embedded a video that I created. So all you have to do is copy it and paste it, add it to the end of your template presentation, and your kids will be able to know how to do it because it shows them how to do it on the web, right, on their web browser, how to do it from their phone, and how to do it from a mobile device like an iPad. So different ways. So I hope that also helps. So let's get started with our math. So here we are with the math. I'm not gonna lie, I struggled quite a bit with this, but I figured, if I'm struggling, I don't want my other teachers to struggle. I want to give them an example, and maybe from there, that sparks their creativity and inspires them to say, you know what, that doesn't work, Ms. Gonzalez, but I've got an idea now. So hopefully something comes out of this, right? So here's an example of a regular post. So we can give our kids several of these slide templates, right, of a regular post, and we can have our kids show us at home something like this. 9 is greater than 7. 9 what? Cheerios. 7, if you don't know what these are, us Hispanics, we call them conchitas. So 9 Cheerios are greater than 7 conchitas. And so here we have some math work, and the kids do a little hashtag and stuff like that. They added their own little profile of Albert Einstein and called him Math Whiz. And of course, 3.14, because I do know that is the number for pi, right? So anyways, this is just a simple example of how you can use the post template. So of course, I also have it there for you, the blank one. Now, what about a profile? So I always consult with my teacher friends and not just teacher friends, my best friends, and they gave me this amazing example about Pythagoras, right? And the Pythagorean theorem, whatever, you know what I mean. And I'm not even going to try that again. And so you could have the kids assign them this and tell them, you know what? Give me a little bit about him. We learned about him. What are the most important things? And of course, they'd have to include a square plus b square equals c square. Where is he from? An important quote from him. It's up to you how you want to tailor this. You can add instructions up here, or you can add them down here. You can add a link right here so that they get some information. What if you assign a link from YouTube about him? And then they gather their information from there. You're building that background knowledge, and then they're able to complete this assignment. So it's up to you how you guys choose to do this. And y'all are the experts at this. Y'all are the math teachers when it comes to this. So I'm more than sure that you can have better ideas in this. This is just a couple of things that came to my mind. And of course, my colleagues were the ones who actually helped me with this one. But this one is another one. So if this is somebody's IG page, the page is all about Triangle World and the different types of triangles that are there. And it's right here, what we want the kids to do is to show us what type of triangle is it. And I have a lot of information here down here. And we want the kids to categorize it by length or by angle. So is it an acute triangle, or is it like an isosceles triangle? What kind of triangle is it? And so here they would provide the information about that triangle, right? So this would be, you could call it an equilateral triangle, but you could also call it, I hope I'm doing this right, an acute triangle? I don't know, guys. I'm trying my best here. But I hope that these are just examples that can get you guys going. Now, you can do one of two things, guys. Well, no, one of many things. You can already pre-fill these for your kids, and they complete this part, right? Or you can have them do it on their own and see what they come up with. You got to gauge your kiddos and know at what level they're in. Another one that I have here is called Time Traveler. And so this would be a page on time traveling, and the title is Time Traveler. And one of the things that I learned from doing one of my tech trainings was teachers were like, man, our kids struggle with telling time with an analog clock. So what if we give the kiddos the analog clock and then have them, this is the expectation, they should be able to see it and say, okay, that's 8:25, so put 8:25, right? But here's the challenge and the relevance for our kiddos. If this is an IG page all about time traveling, then these posts better be about time, right? So what you would challenge the kids is, guys, I need you guys to fill these out. And once you fill those out, I want you guys to take pictures of those exact times somewhere from a clock that you have at home. So it could be your watch, it could be your cell phone. Take a screenshot when it turns to 8:25 and put it in here on number 1. Cable boxes have it. Stoves have clocks also. So your kids, it's going to be like a mini scavenger hunt, while also they're going to have to take a look at these, sort and categorize and say, okay, 8:25, it's already the morning, so I'll have to wait till tomorrow morning. But next is the 12 o'clock one, or the 3 o'clock one, or the 10 o'clock one. And so they're going to have to put those things in order. It will be a challenge for them. So this is just another example, guys. Let me know what you think. If you're like, man, this is great, but she should have done this to it. Gosh, tell me, because that's the way we all learn and grow from each other. And finally, for math, this is the only thing that could come to mind, but I'm more than sure that you guys know more. Math symbols. So I put math, geometry, symbols, PEMDAS, maybe has nothing to do with it, but it's just to, like I said, spark your creativity. So what does this symbol mean? So the kids would either give them the symbols or have the kids search for the symbols. You could give them a list of the symbols, like make sure that you include a symbol for greater than, less than, pi, square root, congruent, percent. I don't know what they all mean, but you know what I mean. And then here they would explain, right? So this is greater than, and it happens when, one number is greater than the other. So examples, here you have, guys. If you come up with better examples, which I'm more than sure you will, let me know. And if you can't figure out how to put it on here, let's collaborate, let's work together, and we'll figure it out. So now let's move on to science. So here we are in science, and they all have this initial page just to kind of keep that uniformity. But let's move on to a regular post for the science template. Take a look at what I did here. What I did is, it has to do with the continental drift theory and Alfred Wegener, something like that. And so I put his little picture there. So I provided some instructions here. You guys can do them, probably provide them better. But the idea is for the kids, you're going to have the kids go to YouTube and find a YouTube video on the continental drift theory. And once they find that video, they're going to import it. They're going to bring it up and put it in here. If they don't know how, here it shows you how to do it. So they're going to go to insert video, add the URL, and paste it. And it'll come up, and they'll just have to move it here. And then they'll put here whatever they want to add as their post, because Instagram posts can be videos. But here's the challenge, guys. We always have to bring it up a level. Here's the challenge. Not just put a video. Tell me the most important things, some facts, some justification to his theory that is explained there in that video. So at 45 seconds, they could say that they talk about how at one point all the 7 continents fit together into one large supercontinent, right? One landmass, and that is one evidence, right, of his theory. Another one could be like at 1 minute and 20 seconds, they could put in there that one fossil that was found in one continent was found across the world in another continent, and so on and so forth. So they start to justify their evidence for the theory, and it really does show checking for understanding at a different level, right? So I really do like this example, and it lends itself to all content areas as well. That's why I do hope that we do watch all the different content areas, because we can easily learn from each other, right? So the next one is one of my favorite ones, and this is a profile page of someone who thinks science matters. Get it? Matters? But no? So science matters, and in this case, we're talking about physical changes. So here we give a little title to the IG page, right? The profile page. We add a little profile image, and then we're going to have the kids watch this YouTube video on physical changes. What are physical changes? We're going to give them instructions, and the instructions are to go around the house, and it's going to be like a scavenger hunt, and either find physical changes or create physical changes and document them. So take a picture of it. So here, a pencil shaving, and then copy and paste it over here and explain why is that one a physical change. Tearing paper. Take a picture of them tearing a piece of paper, and why is that one considered a physical change, and so on and so forth. And this one I think is really feasible for our kiddos to complete. So I really like this one also. And then maybe you can take it another step once you get into chemical changes and things like that. The next one is an IG page. So this belongs to someone, and it's a page all about the daily moon phases. And here I put the name of the person who owns this page, a little icon, and it says, "Hey guys, this IG page is all about the moon phases. I take pictures every day. Can you identify the phase?" These pictures are not correct, guys. I just went online and found whatever pictures I could find that actually looked like they were taken with a phone. And that's the idea for our kids to take 3, 6, 9. They can make it to where we make it so that it does take up the month. And every so often we have them take a picture of the moon, document over here on this side. So copy and paste that image and document when it was taken, what day, what phase is it in, and so on and so forth. Now, if we feel like based on our kids, we know our kids, hey, they won't be able to take the picture themselves. Well, why don't we put pre-stock vector files, images of the moon phases, and then just have them complete it. I believe this is a waning gibbous. Is that correct? I don't know. That sounds right. And explain why it is that phase. So just another example. I also want you guys to direct your attention to the bottom under the notes. I added a YouTube video for our kiddos to be able to use to kind of help support their learning and to accomplish this activity. So here's another one. What I also want you guys to know is that just because this is under the moon phases doesn't mean you can copy this. You can copy it, take it to your subject, and then just edit these. So if I double click here, I can actually change this to math, right? And instead it'll say math. So all of these you can edit to fit your subject, which I love. You can tailor them. And when it comes to the search feature, right? I was like, well, what can I do? What do they normally have to search for? Well, on the periodic table, they have to search. They need to know where are their metals, their non-metals, their metalloids. And then also from that, you can have them, you give them direct, explicit instructions, maybe on a previous slide. Guys, I want you to find an element from the metals group, from the non-metals and from metalloids. And once you find that element, I want you to have a picture, include a picture showing its atomic structure, then a picture of the raw material, and then 2 real life uses. And then explain to me what they are here. So this is what they would complete when it comes to this activity. So that's our science section. Now I want to go ahead and take a look at our English section. So for English or reading, this is what I came up with, guys. We use a lot of acronyms or mnemonic devices to teach in our classroom, so why not bring it into remote learning as well? So here we created a acronym or a mnemonic device for SMIFA, which is figurative language. So our kids learn SMIFA. And so why not bring it in here? If you want to learn how to do these kind of anchor charts, guys, I do have a YouTube tutorial called Poster My Wall, and that'll help you guys out completing this. It's actually really, really simple and easy. But anyways, if we want to reinforce learning and kind of flip the learning and have our kids complete these assignments at home, then here's an example of what we can use these Instagram templates for. We're going to ask the kids to give us Instagram post with an example of each one of these figurative languages. So here's one of them. We're going to tell the kids, hey, this is a hyperbole, and you give them an example, you provide some instructions here, and then you have the kids look for an image of the hyperbole that they have chosen. So if they chose it's raining cats and dogs, then they need to find an image having to do with it. They might not find the exact image like I found here. They could put umbrella or a kitten, right? Or it raining, and that would suffice, right? But it's just an example. The fact that I actually found one is even better. But again, these are just examples. You can continue, and this time a simile, right? He crept into the room as quiet as a mouse. And so there's just a picture of a mouse, right? You don't have to find a mouse actually trying to creep, right? But it's just an example. And you can do a whole slides presentation where your kids complete one for each for SMIFA, right? This next one is a metaphor. Queen Elizabeth II had the heart of a lion. So it shows a lion with a heart around it. So anyways, that's just one example of how to use the regular post on Instagram for English. Another one, if this is the profile, what about Anne Frank, right? So a lot of our kiddos, especially in the middle school, we read the Diary of Anne Frank. So let's call this the digital diary. In 1944, in the midst of the Holocaust. And it says here, hello, my name's Anne Frank, and this is my digital diary. It's a terrible time I'm living in, but this is history. So I'd like to document it through pictures. And then she has a couple of hashtags like Holocaust, my diary, remember me. And then you're going to ask the kids to find pictures. If they've read the book, they should have some pictures that they're looking for, and they should know, hey, they would hide behind, to enter where they were at hiding, there was a bookshelf, right? So a picture of that, a picture of her. How about a picture of Hitler? What's his relevance? So this is where the kids would then copy and paste the image here. And then why would Anne Frank post the image that you chose in her Instagram? Like, why is it important enough to post on her Instagram? So here's an example, guys, of how to use the profile Instagram template. I hope you guys like that. Think of all the stories that you read in ELA or in English, right? I actually really like this next one. This is an IG page. That means it's a page devoted to something or someone, a group, an organization. It might be a band. It might be a famous person. So it really doesn't matter. The sky's the limit. It's more of a general, type of template. In this case, we're doing the 5 W's plus H. That means what's the who, the what, the where, the when, the why, and the how of the 3 little pigs. And I wanted to start off with something really simple because we want our kids to have that success and build that confidence so that when we do give them a little more challenging content, they already feel comfortable enough with it. So in this case, they read the 3 little pigs. Now it's going to be answering this information. Who is the story about, and who are the main characters? So if they're doing the 3 little pigs, they'd go online and they'd find a picture of the 3 little pigs and they'd post it here and here. This is more of like, okay, if you were to click on this image, this is the explanation you would get. That's what this is. So explain why the picture was chosen. So the main characters are the 3 little pigs and the big bad wolf. When? So we know that it happened during the day, during a sunny day or something like that. So we just put a sun. We don't have to find the same exact picture. So that's how you would go about completing these. Notice there's 3 more, so we can add some supporting details. So I really like this activity because you start off slow and lowish, right? But then you challenge them. So just like I mentioned, the Diary of Anne Frank, why can't we challenge them to do this one? Or if you even some information, like I know my ELA teachers, they read Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad. So we can do it like that as well. What if you take one of their passages that they read from their standardized tests, right? And you tell them to create this, right? Using that passage. So just another activity that can be done as well. So anyways, I really do like this one. And remember that you can use this template for other subjects as well. It's just how innovative can you get about changing things around to be tailored to your content. And finally, the last one, if you're searching through IG, well, what are you searching for? So here, I would have assigned the kids and said, hey, what are your top books you've ever read? Like, and what were they about? So hashtag best books ever, or the books I love, or something. And what are the genres you're into? So those would be your categories, and then take a screenshot of them, right? And then after that, over here, explain what's the title of the book and give me a short synopsis, a short summary. And if you guys use Somebody Wanted But So Then we can include that there. What strategy do you use with the kids when trying to identify maybe like the main idea and things like that? These don't necessarily have to be books. If you're doing passages with the kiddos and you want to break the monotony of passages, then you'll read it, you'll do some fun activity, and then you tell the kids, if this were to be turned into a book, what would the cover of the book look like? And then have them do the book cover. If you look at my YouTube page, I have, like I mentioned earlier, I have the poster my wall. The kids can create digital versions of the story they read. They can create a book cover and they can add it here and then give us a little summary or the main idea of that passage. So they're turning them into books. So this is just one example. Y'all are the pros, so I'm more than sure that as I'm going through this, you're thinking, okay, yeah, that's good, but I have a better idea, and I'd absolutely love to hear your ideas, guys. So that is ELA. now let's take it over to our last one, which is social studies. And so for social studies, when it comes to a regular post, if I tell the kids, hey guys, we're going to be learning about Plymouth, or we just learned about Plymouth, the colony of Plymouth and the pilgrims who were, escaping religious persecution. What's a picture that you would post if you were a pilgrim sailing on the Mayflower? What picture would you have posted? And so this is a really famous picture. And then you tell them, give me a little text having to do with that picture. And so here it says, it was a tough voyage on the Mayflower as we escaped persecution, but we have finally landed at Plymouth, Massachusetts. And so what's the name of this IG account? Seeking Refuge 1620. You know what? It makes sense, right? They're looking for a safe haven. It was in 1620. I like the little pilgrim profile. I've included some information, some instructions here, but here's what we did different this time. There are so many academic vocabulary words in history that our kids need to know and understand in order to be successful in our standardized testing, that we need to practice those words. So I would give the kiddos the words persecution, religious freedom, pilgrims, Plymouth, Mayflower Compact, and Thanksgiving, and then ask them, the activity is there. That's the expectation. That's the easy part. Here's the part, the practice part, right? Then I tell them, okay, guys, now on the right-hand side, explain to me those words and how do they have relevance to the story of the pilgrims? Well, persecution means when you are punished because of your religious beliefs, and that's what pilgrims were doing. They were escaping persecution. That was their push factor to leave their England, right? To leave England because they were being persecuted. So your kids would explain the relevance of those words in reference to that image and this Instagram post. So I really like this one. Remember that they'll lend themselves to other contents. The next one is an IG profile. So Old Hickory, 1828, is Andrew Jackson. And here I like this one. It says, yo, AJ here. You might remember me as the 7th president. People love to hate me. Check out my pics to see what I'm remembered for. Hashtag Calhoun who? Move it or lose it, and common man. So those hashtags, if you start talking to the kids about hashtags, then they will totally run with it. Things make sense in their head when it comes to those kind of relevant topics. So you're going to tell them, guys, when you're posting on your Instagram, you're going to post stuff that's important to you. So what would Andrew Jackson have posted that was important to him? And so you might give them some background knowledge or just to reinforce what they've learned, some instructions. And then here, the teacher will know and check for understanding if some of these pictures have nothing to do or aren't really relevant to his presidency or to his impact to American history. So here, I know that this first one, it's important because he became a national war hero in the War of 1812 way prior to being president. And then here, corrupt bargain, and the kids would explain why that image is important. Why this image of King Andrew, and why would they call him king? They're going to have to explain all that. So I really, really do like this template as well, guys. And remember, just because it's a history one doesn't mean that you can't copy these already pre-made boxes and graphic organizers and use them for your own content. And here's another one, and this one's a page all having to do with Civil War. And what I like about this one, guys, is that you can embed your own videos. So all I did here was record myself with my iPad or with your desktop, not your desktop, but with your laptop. You can record yourself, upload that video to your drive, and then add it here. And I'm just telling the kids, hey guys, remember, Facebook gets very annoying. FBGVA. So Fort Sumter, which is this one, Bull Run, Gettysburg, Vicksburg, Appomattox. Those are the important battles and events of the Civil War. And then some important people who were the presidents and who were the leaders, right, of the army. So, and then they explain to us why those pictures are in this Instagram account. So again, another one that I truly love. And finally, the last one here, and what we have here is the Bill of Rights. So if they did a search on the Bill of Rights, what would come up. And I'm going to tell them what I want to come up. I want them that their first picture to be First Amendment religion, then First Amendment speech. Then I want Second Amendment, right to bear arms, third, and so on. So they're going to find these images. They're going to explain to me what they are, and they're going to fill this up right here. So it's just a digital way, a way to turn our paper-based activities into digital ones, right? We're digitizing them and we're making it relevant because our kids know Instagram. They know social media. So that wraps up history, guys. And I hope you like that. Alrighty, guys, that wraps it up. That is our Instagram Google Slides tutorial. I hope you guys liked it. I want to say thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. Don't forget to like them. Give me a thumbs up, guys. That's my affirmation of performance. That's what keeps me going, knowing that people are actually watching them, right? And so thank you so much, guys. Also, subscribe so that every time I do upload new content, you get notified. And I'm constantly uploading new content. This is what I do for fun in my evenings, right? Once the kiddos go to bed, this is what helps me relax, and I do enjoy it very much. But what I do enjoy most is getting y'all's feedback. I love that. So don't shy away from leaving a comment. I would really appreciate it, guys. We'll see you guys later. Have a good one.